Alright, so welcome back to my Ayrton Senna driver career mode here on F124. Now today we are going to Spain, and I realised that up until this episode I've never given a standing update before the episode actually starts, so I'm going to be changing that now. And here are the updated standings. So heading into Spain just after, I believe, round 5 at Canada, we lead the championship by 12 points. I had to actually, math that. Anyway, and in the Constructors, we are sitting in P2, 35 points behind Red Bull. Now, keep in mind that I have scored 106 points towards that 108 contribution. So, my maths is very bad, but even I can work out that Lando Norris just isn't contributing to this Constructors Championship at all. Like, he's just not doing anything. And when we look at the R&D, we currently have the second fastest car, but only by a very slim margin. We can be competing for podiums every weekend very easily, sometimes even going for victories, and that is exactly what I'm doing. But if we go to the season results, Lando Norris, P16, P10, P12, P13, P10. Meanwhile, I am P1, P3, P1, P1, P3. What is going on, Lando? Anyway, let's get to Spain and tackle some quali. Alright, so here we are for hot lap number 1. As always, we use the first lap to learn the track, learn the limits, probably going over the limit a few times, and there's a very high probability I'll end up in the wall at turn 1. That's where I used to always struggle. Now, this is, not to give excuses this early on, but this is my first ever time driving around this track on F124, so I'm kind of nervous because, with how different the handling is compared to last year, I have no idea what kind of pace I'm going to be setting. I'm not going to set any targets for myself because they're always wrong. I targeted a top 7 last episode at Canada. I qualified P2 and finished P3, so yeah. Now through Sector 1, I'm 3 tenths up on Magnussen, which ain't actually a lot when you consider that the Haas is one of the slowest cars on the grid and we're supposed to have the clear second fastest, so now, is this corner going to be flat? I have no idea. No, it isn't flat. You could get round there flat, but I don't think it's going to be the fastest. Now, through Sector 2, I actually lose time to Kevin Magnussen. That is very concerning. Coming around the final sector, bit of oversteer, that's fine, I guess. Now, I don't think this corner's flat. Turning a bit too early, and that is a pretty dismal lap, I can't lie. Although it's still good enough for P8, I think I had quite a good final sector there. So we're 2 tenths off George Russell in P6, which honestly ain't that bad. I don't know exactly how much time there is to find, and even if I was to say how much there was, I'm usually wrong, so I'm not even going to bother. So let's get back to the garage, see where Lando is, see what the gap to the front is, and we'll go from there. Okay, so currently, Lando Norris is in P2. I believe that's the highest position he has ever been in any session during this Ayrton Senna career mode series. He has never been higher than, P4. Now, what usually happens with Lando is that he fails to improve on his second run, and he drops back massively. I'm hoping that isn't the case today, and he truly has some pace. As you can see, he's actually toe-to-toe with Verstappen, setting the exact same Sector 2, and he's only 20 milliseconds back in Sector 1. It's just Sector 3 as he improves his lap time. That's very good to see. Now, I am half a second behind Lando, but fastest Sector 1, if I could just improve my Sector 2 by a considerable amount, I should be able to get a top, 5 or 4 here. So let's put on some new boots, wear the time down, and give it the beat. Alright, so here we go. Now, of course, the main focus is going to be that Sector 2, but I mean, if I can improve in other sectors, I'll of course do so. It's just, honestly, I didn't notice any obvious places to improve, so I might lock in rather than trying to commentate, and we'll see how that goes. But round the final corner, I should say, to begin the final hot lap of this session, let's see where we can get. Yeah, I think through turn 1, I'm going to brake a little bit earlier in order to actually hit the apex of the corner. Try not to have any oversteer. That was pretty good, using quite literally every inch of the track, and I am going to find some time. That was a pretty good lap. I found 3.5 temps, which... Oh, where's that going to put me on the grid? It's going to be... Oh, no. It seems that even though I managed to improve, so did everyone else. Damn. Okay, this is important, though. Is Lando Norris up there? Okay, P4, not bad. Now... That's really poor from me. That's the lowest position I think I've ever been in quali in this series. P8 only. 4 temps, or 3.5 temps off my teammate, who was only under a tenth away from pole. Look at that. 0.03, 0.05, 0.08. That's a very good quali session. If we go to the race director, I believe it's going to be that Sector 2 again, I reckon. Let's see. So let's compare myself to my teammate. So Lando did a 28.9. I did a 29.2, so I was actually 4 tenths away in Sector 1. So is it? Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong sectors. Sector 2, again, I lost 4 tenths. Let me go back to Sector 1. So I did a 21.4, Lando a 21.6, so that's 2 tenths up. Sector 3 a 21.2, I managed to get only a 21.4, so it's Sector 2 and 3 where I'm struggling. Sector 2 more than any other. Sector 1, I'm actually cooking. Now, is that because I am running less downforce? I'd be quite surprised if that's the actual answer, because I'm running quite high downforce, but... Yeah, I'm very disappointed in myself there, but honestly, there wasn't really anywhere else I could have gained time. Like, genuinely, that was a pretty good lap. But anyway, we go to race day, starting P8 on the grid. Let's see what we can do. And here we are on Sunday for the Formula 1 Aramco Gran Premio de España 2024. Now, I do know a bit of Spanish, I just can't pronounce it very well, so I'm sorry if I completely butchered that. It's a nice warm day, though, I must say. It's been dry and sunny throughout the entire race weekend thus far, and there is absolutely no chance of rain, according to the weather thing. It could change drastically, obviously. I don't know. I think starting P8, I don't think I'm going to go backwards. If I do, I'm a disappointment and a disgrace to myself if I end up going further back than P8. So I think I should gain positions throughout this race. My race pace shouldn't be that bad. But let's see. Now, the strategy is actually very interesting because I think this entire series so far, we have gone either medium hard or hard medium. This race, however, the team is thinking a soft to be used, either a soft medium or a soft hard. Now, the soft hard is 4 seconds slower on the projected race time. However, the hard tyres might be better. Okay, you know what? I've always trusted the team, and it's always, you know, got me decent results, so I'm going to trust the team once again, and we're going to go for a soft medium. I believe all this is fine. I don't think I need to change my transmission too much. This is all okay, and I think we're ready to go. And here we go for the Spanish Grand Prix, round 6. The lights are on. Lando has actually taken an engine penalty, so he's going to start one by a couple places behind me in a P9. Now, what I want to do is try not to cover off my teammate too much, but I don't really have a choice as there is a car next to me. There's a Mercedes I can try slip around the outside of here. That's going to be Lewis Hamilton. We now go wheel to wheel. Do I have the grip to get round? No, that inside line is very powerful. Round turn 2, 3, I'm not too sure. But we do gain a place off the start. Keep in mind, I started P7 because of Lando's penalty. So yeah, 1 place off the start, not too shabby. It seems that everyone else is also following the philosophy of soft tyres, as the entire grid is on softs. Lando dropping back though. I believe he started P9. Oh, never mind, he's fighting Ricciardo for P8, that's fine. Now, I don't know how quick I'm going to be in comparison to the likes of the Mercedes and the Ferraris, So my strategy for this race is going to be quite simply just stay in the DRS, and we'll go from there. Although the early signs aren't looking that good. The Mercedes and the Ferrari seem to be just a little bit ahead. But, you know, it's only the first lap. We'll see what happens in the next, like, 5 or so. I will say, though, me and Sergio Perez, and obviously the cars ahead, are already building quite a gap to the likes of Ricciardo and then Norris behind. Norris needs to clear Ricciardo very quickly so he can get back to us boys up here. And I will say as well, last episode, I basically non-stop complained about how the car felt. The problems are still sort of here in Spain. Of course, Spain is a completely different track to Canada, but them underlying problems are still the same. The sort of, you know, oversteer, basically, throughout the entire thing. Now, I am going to have DRS on Lewis Hamilton, but look at the gap. It's already over a second as I go a bit too on the inside there. I don't think I'm going to have DRS, and I'm not. That upper bracket of cars, the Mercedes and the Ferraris, are just too quick, and of course the Red Bulls. George Russell takes the fastest lap. I'm half a second behind it. Here comes Sergio Perez. He's going to go to the inside, and I can't really defend it. Again, just like in Canada, my ERS recharge is really, really bad. As Lando Norris loses out to Fernando Alonso as well, so he is not cooking. I should not be this slow. Like, this is shocking. My car is... Look at that understeer as well. What is going on with this car recently? Canada feels absolutely horrid. I come to Spain. It felt alright in qualifying, but I'm just slow. And yeah, I'm going to have to let Lando go down the main straight. Although, to be fair, I don't really have a choice. He's going to whiz past me anyway. It like I can say to him, nah, don't pass me, mate. This is teamwork. No, he's just going to drive past with DRS with ease. Alright, go on, Lando. Go by. I can't believe I said at the start of this race that I ain't going to go down positions because I'm starting P8. Look at the straight line speed of the Haas behind as well. Of Hulkenberg. Why is he so fast? And I've outbraked myself. It's all going wrong in this career mode. How could something start so well? A win, you know, a win, podiums, every single race. I come to Spain, and I genuinely can't drive anymore. Lando's just gone. Now I've got the other RB of Yuki Tsunoda right behind me. And I'm going to have to try something with strategy. Look at my front left tyre degradation, by the way. This new tyre system is an absolute joke. And I'm going to have to try something. Whether it's, you know, pit now and go on the hards, or just something. I can't just stay out like this, because I'm so ungodly slow getting oversteer at every single... That's the problem. That is the issue. I'm getting oversteer every single corner. And I don't know which transmission setting to change, so I'm in the mud, basically. Losing a second to my teammate. Now there's Yuki Tsunoda. He's got DRS, so bye. See you later. And even if I go to the hard tyres, that ain't going to help me very much, because I'll still be slow. We have a yellow flag somewhere, as I now drop out of the points. And there ain't much I can do about it. I'm driving as fast as I can, without having these oversteer problems, and it's this corner, I believe. Let's see the time difference. 0.7. And I think my only choice in this situation is to do something with strategy. So we're going to pit on lap 10. I might come in a lap earlier, go for lap 9 and just put on mediums and try a 1 lap undercut. I don't think it's going to achieve much, but it's worth a try. There's no point going on the hard tyre, because by the end of the race, all the medium runners are just going to be like gone. No DRS down this straight. At least I've got a bit of ERS to defend with, but I shouldn't be defending against an Alpine. I should be attacking a Ferrari. That's how bad this weekend is. And I am going to stop this lap. Oh, we have a mid-race objective. Keep the engine above 140 degrees. How do you warm up the engine? How does that work? Well, I don't know how to warm up the engine. There's no thing that tells me what the engine temperature is, so I'm just going to head into the pits, try a little undercut, and just see what happens. It also seems that, I believe one of the Red Bulls is that? Yes, I believe that's Sergio Perez trying the undercut as well. And I mean, we both might as well. At least Perez can get in, like, the points, you know what I mean? And he's notorious at the moment for, like, not doing that. Meanwhile, me, I'm having a great time. You know, fighting with the, the fastest cars on the grid, the RBs and the fucking Alpines. But anyway, we exit the pits, and we're going to need 1 or 2 pretty decent hot laps if we want to make this undercut actually work. But to be honest, Lando Norris and above were so far ahead before I entered the pits that even if I do an undercut, it won't gain me any positions, and even if it does, I'll lose them straight after. It's just completely hopeless. Lower points, forget you saw that. I'm really struggling here. And yeah, come to Spain, and I was just apocalyptically slow. I don't know if it's just this track, but anyway, we can see the effects of the undercut taking place. Now, of course, I was a second behind Tsunoda and barely ahead of Ocon when I came into the pits. I come out just ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, so the undercut has gained me about a second of race time. And maybe my struggles are developing from my front left tyre taking excessive wear, but I always say it, I don't know how to stop the front left wearing. I don't understand how that works. So if we're saying I'm going to gain a second, in the grand scheme of things, that is basically nothing because of how far ahead the likes of Norris and the rest were. So I'd say at the moment we're going to be fighting for a points finish, which I can't believe I'm saying after starting the season with, what, 3 wins and 2 podiums? What a fall from grace. Here comes Tsunoda. We have a yellow flag in Sector 1. There's a massive pile-up going on through turn 1 and 2. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Here's Danny Rick, who is actually quite up the grid order, as Sergio Perez retires from the session on lap 12. I believe that is a mechanical fault, not him just being a clumsy clot and crashing. Ricciardo's right here, though. Ricciardo was fairly up the road early on, and he's right here. If I can just get in a DRS train, that'll be alright, but I don't think I will, as, you know, the 3 cars ahead, Alonso, Ricciardo, and one of the Mercedes are just faster than me. And that is basically the moral of the story of this race. Every single car is better than me at exits, and it ain't like I'm bad at them. If I try and exit any faster, my car spins, so there it is. Lando Norris takes the fastest lap. That's a little bit encouraging. Look how much he's catching the Ferraris and the Mercedes. That is absolutely rapid from Lando. Once again, I've got no ERS left, so Yuki Tsunoda's just going to go by. Unless I can outbrake him. Well, that was scary. Managed to hold on, sitting in P9. You know, 2 points, that's alright. Every point matters at the end of the day. We can just classify this one as a one-off stinker. Carlos Sainz then takes the fastest lap off Norris by 2 tenths. He is cooking, but Lando is right in the mixture. You see in the bottom left of your screen, there's the Mercedes and the Ferrari. I assume Leclerc having a scrap. And then Lando's right in there as I'm battling with Tsunoda as he crashes into me. Nice one, Tsunoda. Good bit of racecraft that. Well done, lad. So now I drop down to P10 with Pierre Gasly right there, alongside Hulkenberg and I believe someone else as well. And you can see that corner, I just lost like 3-4 tenths. This corner I'm going to lose another 2 tenths, and that's basically it. At least now I know I'm never putting this track on the calendar again. That's if I even make it to Season 2. I might just not even get to Season 2 before I stop playing this game permanently. Right, here comes Gasly. I've got a little bit of ERS to defend with, but it's sort of pointless. As there he goes. I can try and like outbrake him and, you know, go wheel to wheel. That's if he doesn't crash into me like Tsunoda did. Okay, I managed to hold on to P10. And the thing is, I'm already done with this game. I've still got like 8 laps left. I don't want to do this. I'm going to assume the front left is really struggling again. Yep, as you can see. And you see the difference. Look at the front left and the front right. There is a 20% tyre wear difference. Now, I have no idea why that's happening. We do have another mid-race goal as well, which is to charge the ERS to 50% by lap 20, which is about 3.5 laps. Why would I do that? If I try and charge my ERS, Pierre Gasly is just going to go by with 0 effort. I guess I could try and charge some through. Maybe that's the play. Through these corners where I can't get overtaken, charge the ERS to whatever number I can get it to, and then just, you know, use it down the straight in hopes I can defend, and then that's it. Let's see, can I defend? Oh my god, trained so quickly. How am I already down to 10%? And even though I was saving ERS, there's nothing I can do about that, as we potentially have another yellow flag coming into play. I badly need a safety car or a red flag and just try and do something with it, but doesn't look like it. There was a brief yellow flag period. Seems to have gone away now. Maybe a car is just starting to conk out. I don't see anything on the bottom left, so we move. Lando Norris still right in the mixture, but oh, he's actually got one of the Ferraris, to be fair to him. And now Fernando Alonso is pressuring the Ferrari he just overtook. Okay, Lando. Thank God that when I'm having a stinker, Lando's sort of up there, currently sitting in P4. Go on, son. Right, let's see Lando Norris. Oh my God, he's done it. Come on, Lando. What a driver. Lando Norris on lap 19, well, lap 20, gets past George Russell, I think. It could be Hamilton. He gets past a Mercedes as I get overtaken by an Alpine. What a contrast of events. I get done by an Alpine. Lando Norris overtakes a Mercedes. Now, Lando Norris up to P2. Now we just got to hope he can defend it. If he can, that is still a very good day at the office for McLaren. 18 points is still okay. Unfortunately, I am going to get the overtake done, but the very next lap, I now have Lance Stroll right behind me. No ERS to defend with. There's a slight chance that I can defend. Maybe? I'm going to go for it anyway. To the inside of Stroll. Now the outside. Now back to the inside. Again, understeering, oversteering, all those corners. Get right to the inside. Use my remaining overtake. We are still wheel to wheel with Lance Stroll. Inside line. He's going to have a better exit because his car works better than mine. Now we have the outside. It's a pretty good wheel to wheel battle. Once again, he's going to have the better exit because he's in the better car. I'm still in this though. As we now go to the next corner. Outside line for me, which is actually typically better because it instantly switches back to an inside line. That was a very good battle, and the fact I stayed ahead as well is also quite cool. And now from this point on, I'm going to just charge the ERS as, where the hell is he going? Lance Stroll, where are we off to? Right, final lap of this race, what can we do? Here comes Esteban Ocon, I've got a bit of ERS to defend with. I'm going to go to the outside. That's a pretty good bit of defending. More oversteer, don't worry. Where's Lando Norris? Still in P2. And he should be good to finish P2. And I'm so happy that Lando Norris can come home for P2. That is so needed. If Lando also did his usual stinker, we would be in the mud right now. But because of him, this Constructors' Championship is still on. And I don't even know what to say. Honestly, I'm giving this game one more chance. And if it's still as bad as it is now, I'm done with it. I'm not playing it. Max Verstappen wins, as per usual. Lando Norris comes around the final corner to finish P2. A very good weekend for him. Even with an engine penalty, to finish P2 is a great effort. The Ferraris come home in P3 and P4, followed by Mercedes in P4 and 5. The RBs with a fantastic weekend, finishing in P6 and 7. Then we have an Alpine in P8. And then I've got that completely wrong because I finished P11. Never mind, ignore me. There was an Aston Martin. The Aston Martin was hiding between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. We finished P11. And what a fall from grace. P1, P2, whatever. P3, P1, and then P11. Wow. So here's the final finishing order. The fastest lap does go to Carlos Sainz, so Ferrari are going to pick up 28 points. Very good weekend for Ferrari. They actually outscore Red Bull due to Sergio Perez's retirement. Verstappen picks up 25 for his team. McLaren only get 18 because, of course, I didn't score. And I just think that's so funny how I said I can't go backwards for starting P7 and I proceed to then drop 4 places backwards to finish P11. And actually, I'm interested. Let's go to the lap time. So I was doing, obviously it's going to be inconsistent because of how bad the car was. But we're looking at, we'll say mid-15s. What was Hamilton doing? See what he's doing, like, you know, low 15s. Like, I don't even know. Anyway, like I said, tomorrow, I'm going to do another episode of this, and I'm giving it one more chance. If the game is still as bad as it is, I'm just going to stop playing it, and I might make a separate rant video about it. But anyway, that's going to be all from me today. Here's a quick update of the standings. Verstappen now leads by 13 points. I was leading by 12, now he leads by 13. Lando gets up to P9, and in the Constructors, Red Bull now lead by 42, and we only have a 16-point gap back to Ferrari. So that's going to be all from me. I'll see you tomorrow, and I don't even know. Bye-bye.